Hello and welcome back. We are looking at day 2 of Prison Architect. We're going to be going a little bit more in depth with the different things. As you can see from the first one, we've got our first 8 cells, as well as a holding cell and a canteen. Now the big thing that we're going to be looking at in this one is going to be focusing mostly on rooms. And in this particular case, we're going to set up an office or two so that we can start our research, and we'll also be looking more in depth at the different tabs in the reports. So to start us off here, we're going to be looking at an office, and this requires 4x4. So if I can get out of that, we'll go into the foundations. And going back to what I was saying about prisoners not needing anything special because they're prisoners, in this particular case we're going to be building an office, and well, the offices are for special people. It's so special. So we'll be setting up an office for, first off, our warden. So we've got 4x4, and then we'll take it to 5x5, and that should set us up with 4x4, although it doesn't really look like it. Let's see here. Just change this a little bit. Okay, and away we go. It does look a little funky right off the bat. And sometimes when you combine rooms like that, you'll see things of that nature happen. So you just put a new wall right there. And now, being that this is going to be our warden's office, I want to go ahead and put a door somewhere around here. This way the warden can get in and out, do everything that he needs to do. I don't really think it matters what direction you put the door. So there's the room for it. Now I just need to mark it as an office. 4x4. Now you can see it needs office, desk, a chair, filing cabinet. So filing cabinet right there, office desk, and a chair. So once we manage to get those put in there, we should be good to go. Alright, so the office is set. Now once everything is set here, we're gonna put our warden in. Now we've got that set. Now a big thing is gonna be bureaucracy. This is actually a very important aspect of it. We can go a number of different routes. The security is very handy. Maintenance is good for cleaning and prison labor. I'm gonna start off with maintenance. We'll back out of that, and now that we've got our warden, we can go into a regime and see their daily setup. So far it looks good. We're probably going to need to change that around. We don't have a yard just yet. But another part is the grants. And if you look at these actually do give a lot of different, a lot of money. So the staff, the education reform, health and well-being, some of them are pretty easy. The medical board is very simple to get. The administrative center, see, right now we could probably get that pretty quickly. And this one, we've got we just need a shower, a yard, and then we're good to go. That's a free 30,000. We're not going to need it just yet, especially since we have infinite money. But another thing that's catching my eye is all of this stuff that's just randomly sitting there. So to fix that, we're going to use storage. We'll just put this up here next to deliveries. That actually does not have any room requirements, so it can be outside, it can be inside, or wherever is convenient for you. Now you can see them just moving on out. And looks like we're good to go. Now since we don't have any janitors, you can see it's starting to get a little bit messy in there, and especially over here in the cells. So once this manages to finish up, we'll go straight into cleaning, and we'll be able to hire some janitors and get that all cleaned out. So in preparation for the warden, or excuse me, the foreman, we're gonna build another building over here. Make that 5 by 5. The foreman is actually rather important because he's needed for a number of different things, like as you can see, researching groundskeeping and prison labor, so your inmates can do different work in like the laundry room. You definitely need it for the janitors, and the janitors will actually do a really good job, especially if you have a whole bunch of them. The guard is going to come over and let the prisoners back in for their cell. Did I make that too small again? Yes, I sure did. Oops. No worries. See, that's a very good feature that they were able to put in here. You can just make changes like that, and suddenly there you go. You're fixed. Just finish out that office, and once Foreman is done researching, which is very, very soon, speed it up. Voila. Now, just plop the Foreman in there. You can actually get more than one. If he dies, or the very first time you go in there, you can actually just click a whole bunch of times, and you'll get a bunch more Foremen, and that's a nice little glitch that'll let you do multiple workshop trainings at once, things like that. Now, Of course, these lights are going to be blinking and driving me bonkers, so I'm just gonna dump them. I freaking hate those things. They don't actually need light, to be quite frank. Now, what can we build here? So, we've got the Foreman. We'll start working on that, and at the same time, I'm going to start going down the security route. So, you can see the different... You can kind of start to see the way that my prison is going to be going here. I'm going to start making my... I'm going to start building out this way. In fact, I think I'm going to dedicate this section here as a yard for now. And then once the workers are finished off with that, I can actually demolish this wall right here. And the worker is glitched out. Alright, now to demolish walls, it is also in materials, so just click that. And voila. Notice how we're keeping them contained. I've had too many experiences where the prisoners will get out before I can even think about doing anything. So we're going to put a yard right there, and in every yard they're going to want some sort of activity, so we can actually just put a weights bench. They don't need a whole lot. They're, from what I've seen, they're actually kind of picky, and sometimes they don't even use them, no matter how many you have. So the next part is going to be a shower. Now, showers kinda sorta have their own feel to them as well, and since we're gonna be getting more prisoners at some point, I'm just gonna put that onto this part of the wall. And there you go. Now, one thing that we're probably going to want to do is demolish that wall, and of course demolish that. So those are good. Now we need to make a concrete wall right there to separate it. And now we have our shower. Now, from trial and error, I've discovered with the shower that you do actually have to have them one block away from the next one, because they've got the whole macho stereotypes going where they don't want to be too near somebody else while they're showering. So I usually just set them up like this. I'm keeping it this size because there will be a lot more prisoners, and at some point I'll be able to get a lot of them in there. Now, another thing to keep in mind, with showers is that they do need a drain, and usually 2 drains will suffice. They don't have to be in the shower. You just put them right there, and that'll stop it from overflowing. At times like this, I kind of wish I had more workers, and of course I can hire more, but I don't know. So, there we go. We should be set with that. We're good to go. There's our shower. So that's the basics of the room system, and once we get going, we're gonna need to set up the different ones. We're gonna have a visitation room, and then we're gonna have a common room. All of these I'll figure out a spot for, and for now the big focus is going to be on getting all of these researched. So in the next video I'll be going over the different spots in here. We'll be able to get a psychologist, and we'll be able to get an accountant so we can do our finances, and then we'll start adding on, and then once we've got everything set up from there, then we'll just keep adding and keep adding, and hopefully we'll be able to see some really crazy stuff happening in here. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and have fun with your prison.